Hello, and welcome back to Adults After Dark, episode number 3. I am your host, Mimi, and I want to thank you all for tuning in to tonight's conversation, and also thank you all for tuning in to the past couple of conversations if you have. Also, thank you all for subscribing to the channel. So those of you that are tuning in but have not yet subscribed to the channel and you are enjoying the conversations that's going on so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know every time we do upload a conversation. So tonight's conversation is, do you depend on a man for money or to take care of you? Do you depend on a man for money or to take care of you? Let's think about that for a second. And while we're thinking about that, we are going to recap on last week's conversation. So guys, go ahead and get comfortable, get you something to drink. I'm actually drinking on a glass of sweet red wine right now. So if you hear pauses in between, I'm probably taking a sip. So, to recap on last week's conversation, do you or have you ever cheated? So, I have not ever cheated. And I told you guys that I believe that my husband have not cheated. But I was in a relationship for 14 years before my husband, and all the man ever did was cheat. And I was like in my late teens, early 20s, and I was young and dumb. But I was young and dumb for 14 years. And I finally snapped out of it. After the 14 years. I actually snapped out of it before then, but for some reason, we were living together and I just couldn't get this man to leave my house. But it eventually happened, and our relationship had got so bad that I started to hate him. I literally started to hate him. I didn't care what happened to him or anything. Okay, so now that we have recapped on episode 2, did you guys think about today's topic, which is, do you depend on a man for money? Now, that kind of depends. Now, you depend on a man for sex. You may have him take care of you emotionally. But financially, let me tell you, I would never depend on a man financially. Okay? And I learned that the hard way. So, let me tell you this story. The same guy that I was with for 14 years. Okay, I met him. I was probably 17 or 18. I know I was still in high school. Actually, I believe it was 18. My late 17 or early 18. I know I was still in high school, and in high school I was a teen mom. I had my baby when I was 17, and we kicked it, for a long time. Now, mind you, like I said, this is the same guy that I was with for 14 years that I was just telling you guys about in the last episode. And one particular day, I think my daughter was probably about 2, and it was Easter Sunday coming up. Now, I said I was a teen mom. My mom didn't really help me out that much. I was getting public assistance for my daughter, but by me being a minor, I was underage. Those checks were in my mother's name, so kind of like how they have Social Security now, how you have a paid. Yeah, so by me being underage, those checks came into my mother's name. So, my mother had me paying so much rent. Now, mind you, I was only getting $250 a month. I still had to buy my daughter clothes and shoes and diapers and milk or whatever it is that she needed out of that money, right? Which was nothing. If you guys know about public assistance, it's nothing. And I'm here to tell you, I don't know how the young people that do not want to work can live off that little money and you're only getting it once a month. Okay, I don't understand, but that's a whole nother conversation. So Easter Sunday was coming up. Like I said, my mother, she didn't really help me out with too much of anything, right? So the guy that I was with, we were talking. I don't know how we got on a conversation or what have you, but y'all, this wine is so good. But he asked me, I believe he asked me if I had anything for my daughter for Easter. And I told him no, I didn't have anything for her for Easter. I didn't have any money. So he gave me the money to buy her Easter outfit. Okay, I was greatly appreciated. So I went and bought her Easter outfit, some a dress and some shoes, and I got her little hair stuff. I think she was probably 1 or 2 at the time. And so he had 2 small kids at the time. And she was dressed up, all the kids was dressed up. You know how we did back in the day, everybody dressed up for Easter. So I don't know if we went somewhere, or I don't even remember. I don't know if the kids were just running around outside. I don't even remember, but I did get her Easter stuff, and the kids had fun. They took pictures and everything. And about a month or 2 later, he says to me, "Do you have my money?" And I was like, "What money? What are you talking about?" He was like, "The money that I gave you to buy your daughter her Easter stuff." And I was like, "Well, you gave me that." He was like, "No, I loaned you that. You borrowed that from me." I was like, "No, you asked me if I had her Easter outfit, and I told you no. You went in your pocket and gave me the money. I didn't ask you for anything." So that right there ended all of that. Not our relationship, but as far as me depending on a man financially, that I said that would never happen to me again. Even though I think it was probably like $100. I don't even think it was $100, because kids, they don't, at the time they didn't need all this fancy stuff that they got now. But I said that was the very last time that any man would ever do me like that financially. I don't care who it is. As my daughter was growing up, and I was teaching her, life. You teach your children life skills. You teach them how to be independent and live on their own and learn how to live without you. This is what we teach our children, right? So I've always told my daughter, I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what that man is offering you. You stand on your own 2 feet. I don't care if that man put you in a mansion and say, hey, I'm going to pay all the bills. If you move in this mansion with this man, you better be able to pay for it by yourself. That means pay the gas bill, the light bill, the water bill, the mortgage if there's a mortgage. If you got a car, you need to pay for this car. You need to buy food. You need to buy clothes. If you got a child, you need to take care of this child. You need to buy household stuff. This is regular life skills. So if you move in with a man, I don't care if it's your boyfriend or your husband, shit happens. That man could leave you. He could not have a job anymore. No money for savings. He could pass away. He could just decide and say, fuck it, I'm not paying for nothing. You take everything. That's when you need to get rid of that motherfucker. Okay? And you better be able to pay your rent or your mortgage or your gas bill, your light bill, your phone bill, whatever you need to pay. You need to be able to do it by yourself. And another thing, if you get in an apartment and that man is moving in with you, that's not your husband, don't put that man on a lease. For what? Because this is yours. So this is what I told my daughter. Now, depending on the man, emotionally and financially and sexually is 2 different things. Financially, never. Sometimes the emotional support is like, dude, you know what? If you can't help me with the problems that I'm going through, what the fuck I got you for? Why the fuck are you here? Okay, so you gonna have sex with me, you just gonna nut me and that's it. I don't need that. In some cases, you don't need the man sexually. I mean, let's be realistic. It's not like we really need them. We just want the pleasure of a man sexually. I mean, think about it. Really. I taught her that early on. I don't care if that man sucking your toes or between your toes every night. You don't depend on him financially for nothing. Nothing. Like I said, I learned the hard way. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember my mother teaching me half of the things that I taught my daughter. I had to grow up and learn, hey, I don't like this. This is not what it should be. Okay? I'm not going to teach my daughter, like, if a man hits you in front of your child and you think it's okay, no, it's not okay. Because then your child going to think it's okay that if that man hits me, that means he loved me. Hell no. No. Get the fuck out of there and get far fuck away. That's what you do. And so, like I said, a lot of things that my mother, I don't think that she really taught me. I just kind of saw things and was like, nah, that's not for me. Especially after the guy that I was with for 14 years. I said never again. So, you guys, let me know what you think about that. Let me know. So I found, of course, I'm always on Google for something. So I found this, what is it? I guess a conversation that other people were having about what we're talking about now. And I'm going to read some of this. And guys, if you hear something in the background, excuse me or excuse it, because I'm in my back room, the window is open, and my husband is out there hollering at somebody. So, this first one says, as a woman, is it bad to want a man to take care of me? What does wanting a man to take care of you mean? Financially, emotionally, sexually? I said all of that. All of the above. Regardless, it's got to be tough being a woman these days, having natural desires to have a man who protects you and makes you feel like you know a woman wants to feel. Having the woman's movement screaming at you about being strong and independent, as if you can't be strong and independent if you want a man to take care of you. So you can still be strong and independent and still want that desire for a man to take care of you. Now, I kind of agree with her. Is this a her? I don't even know if this is a her or him. My thing is, my opinion, I think men are supposed to provide. They're supposed to protect. I believe that if the man was raised right by another man, his father or father figure, a mentor, and told him, hey, this is what you do. You open the doors for women. You pull out the chair for a woman. You know what my husband did one day, and this was a long time ago, and I didn't understand it. For a long time, I didn't understand why he did it. If my husband and I are walking down the street, he will not let me walk on the side of the curb, like the street side. He will pull me over to the other side. For a long time, I didn't understand why he did that. So yeah, I think that men are supposed to be protectors. I saw something one day. I don't know what I was looking at, but there was a couple, and the man opened the door for the woman, but he went in first. And he got a lot of feedback off of that. He got a lot of residual feedback. And they asked him, why did you open the door and then you go in first, right? He said, my father taught me to be a protector. I open the door and I walk in the door first, because if anything happens, somebody swinging, somebody shooting, a knife go flying, my girl will not get hit. I'll be the one to get hit first. And I felt that. So when he opened the door, he went in and he kind of, scoped out the area. And I thought that was really, really cool. I would have never thought about that, as far as a man. But he said that his father taught him to be a protector. Guys, I'm sorry if you hear the dogs in the background. But he said his father taught him to be a protector. Even when they go to bed at night, his side of the bed is on the side where the door is. When somebody knocks on the door or rings the bell, if he's home, he's the one who answers the door or answers the bell. I get that. Men are supposed to be protectors. So let's see what else they said here. You could be the CEO of a large corporation and still want a man to take care of you. President of the United States. In fact, you are a woman. Of course, you want a man to take care of you. And as women, one thing that's for damn sure. While you need a man to take care of you, it's also who holds the power. It's also you who holds the power. Okay. This person said, I wouldn't say wrong so much as foolish. Your man might disappoint you or die young and leave you with children and no decent way to support yourself or them. You want whatever you want, but make sure you are capable of taking care of yourself. If you ever need to, the odds are pretty good that you will need to. That's just what I said. You never know what's going to happen. Not at all. I would love a man to take care of me, and I'm a man myself. Okay. I would freely and willingly live with him to do everything for him, cooking, cleaning, sex. In return, he would pay the bills, buy the food, and buy me what I wanted. I'm not high maintenance, so I would be pretty cheap to please, lol. He would refer to me any way he wished, husband, wife, etc. What? I don't know. Wouldn't you want your own money? I mean, it's okay if you buy me a coat or a pair of shoes or something like that, but wouldn't you want your own money? Now, let me tell you what I do. My husband and I, we split the bills, okay? But because we get paid on opposite times, of the month, so I may get paid this week, he may get paid next week. What I do when the bills come in and I see them, I'll pay the bills. The bills are paid. And when he give me his portion of the bill money, that's going into my savings account. Okay. He don't need to know that. But that's where it goes. The bills are paid as far as he know. He put those on the bills. So comment below, guys. What do you guys think about that? How do you guys or do you guys financially depend on your man, spouse, or what have you? Let's see if we can find another good one here. Okay, guys, so this next person, he is this a he? This is a he, and he has quite a bit of statement here. So he says, do men like to take care of women? I'll speak only for myself. I like to take care of a woman in the sense that I would do things for my mate out of love and affection. I do not like to babysit immature women who still have a lot of growing up to do. Amen, honey. Amen. Throughout my relatively short dating life, I have done things for women I was in a relationship with, like take them to interesting places they want to go, or take them when they're sick, or take care of them when they're sick, and just be there for them. I have always liked filling this role. Okay, so taking care of them when they're sick, which is, I mean, if you are a significant other, I think you should do that anyway. That just goes without saying. However, I really do not like having to deal with a woman who behaved like immature children, who expected me to be more of a parent than a romantic companion. An interesting story of an annoying ex-girlfriend comes to mind. I went on a hike with her and her shoelace came undone. She told me to tie it for her, and when I did so, she threw a tantrum. What? The same girl got seriously drunk a couple of weeks after, and I broke up with her. Called me and asked me to pick her up across town despite the fact that we were no longer in a relationship. I called her roommate and explained the situation to her roommate, and her roommate went to pick her up. When it comes to my wife, it's just like I do stuff for her out of affection. I dote on those I love. Whenever I go to the bookstore, I pick up something, genres she like. If she mentions that she wants to travel someplace or see something interesting, I try to make it happen. She mentioned that she wanted to go to France when we were dating. I bought tickets that evening and took her there the following week. Oh wow, really? If she's sick or not feeling well, I'll do whatever I can to make sure she's comfortable, resting well, and gets better quickly. Now, it's not like I'm the only one doing stuff for her. She dotes on me as well, and to be frank, spoils me quite a bit. That's a good thing, because it is a two-way street, especially if you're married. It is a two-way streak, okay? You can't just take care of me and then you don't get anything in return, because eventually you're going to get sick, you're going to get ill, something's going to happen. Now, I can see if say that we both working pretty decent jobs or making pretty decent money, and say that I lose my job. Okay, something happened. Okay, we all just went through this COVID thing and people were laid off, work remote, lost jobs, bunch of places closed. Now, things like that I can see. If you're still working, and I expect you to pick up the household until I'm able to get back on my feet. I don't think that's being um, um, financially. What am I saying? You know what I'm saying? Financially being taken care of. I feel like that's being responsible. This is our home. We're married. You know that things a little tough for me right now for the time being. And so you're going to pick up the slack. And the same with me. If something happens to your job or you get sick, and you can't work anymore, excuse me, then it's up to me to pick up the slack. We are one. We're man and wife. We're spouses. We are one. So that I can see, but not just blatantly, you supposed to do this for me. He also says, I like to take care of my woman. It is important to understand that taking care of a woman means different things to different people. Yes. Yes. So, yeah, now that I can see. But just, you know, you just move in, or better yet, you spend the night, just never go home, which that ain't gonna never happen with me, because first of all, you ain't spending the night. But anyway, you not just gonna live off of me. It don't work that way. If you're not bringing nothing to the table besides a hard penis, I don't have nothing for you. I don't have nothing for you. You can just go ahead on with that. Nothing. Okay, let's see what this other one is. How do I find a man who takes care of me, pay for things, and not make me work? What I was just saying. Okay, this one's pretty lengthy as well. So this one says, this isn't that hard to find, but you may not like what your job ultimately would be. I'm going anonymous here because I have been in the position of man taking care of a woman. It was pretty obvious early on when we started dating that the lady I was dating, I'll call her Lori, was interested in money. So if you knew that she was just interested in money, why date her? You knew that she was a gold digger, why date her? I had done very well for myself, but I had a fairly modest house, older Ford truck, and no debt. But I bought nice things and looked amazed and took amazing vacations. Still do. She sat next to me one day as I opened my mail, and she got a glimpse of one of my account statements. She went on about how much I had and asked why I didn't live in a mansion or drive a fancy car. Our relationship changed after this. I bet the hell it did. She was all over me. Sex picked up in a big way. That's because she wanted something. And if I asked for the back door, I got the back door. What? Oh no. And she acted like she loved it. Her butt was hurting. It was pretty obvious that it was no longer about me but the money. It was heartbreaking to see because I really liked her. Anyway, she started pushing marriage after a few weeks of this. I sat her down and told her that she changed after seeing the money and that I didn't see a future for us. I was surprised when she was unfazed by this and proposed that I take care of her and provide a nice car and vacations, and she would make sure to keep your stomach full and your balls empty. Wow. Gold digger for real, guys. So far, guys, from this person here, how do you feel about that? If there's any men in this conversation tonight, have you had women that do that to you? If so, how did you go about um did you stay with the woman? Did you leave the woman? I mean, what did you do? Let me know, guys. Okay, let's continue on. That conversation didn't go the way I expected it at all. I told her it wasn't something I was looking for. She left for her apartment. That night I thought about it and decided that I was just wasn't interested in looking around for another woman for a while, and that maybe I could work out a deal with her. Really, she was fun and intelligent, attractive, and sex had become amazing once she saw my account. Mm, mm, mm. You are a sucker. Whoever wrote this, you are a sucker. She didn't know about the other investments or my vacation home yet. Um, I roughed out an agreement. She called the next afternoon and asked if she could come over. When she came over, I said I reconsidered. I offered room and board for her for an initial year with a car. Really? A quarterly vacation and a monthly allowance. You really did that? Her part was that she didn't have to work, but she was to act the part of my girlfriend. She would live with me, sleep with me, cook, and we didn't go out or order food and help take care of me in general as if it were her job. Sex was expected at any time I wanted it and how I wanted it. Wow. We agreed to review in a year. She moved in and I paid off the remainder of her apartment lease. Wow. We settled into a normal routine. The sex was amazing, and she had been to culinary school and was an amazing cook. She got her allowance, and I always seemed to go over with shopping and things like that. At a year, we agreed to continue with 6-month review. She hinted from time to time that we should marry instead because she loved the lifestyle, but I knew it was about the money and not from me. I realized that I just didn't respect her. Mm, mm, mm. After two and a half years, I was emotionally drained. I bet you were. I lay next to this woman at night after being sexually gratified in any way I wanted, and she would tell me that she loved me. She lying. Guys, what do you think about this? Let me know. I knew it was a lie and the whole thing felt hollow. I ended it. I let her keep the car and crap. I bought her over time, but I put up the deposit on an apartment and had her things moved. She cried a lot and kept calling me to the point that I had to block her. She showed up a few times scantily clad over offering sex acts that I liked, but I sent her away. Wow. After a year, I met a woman completely by chance who was very attractive Liberian type with her glasses on and her hair pinned up. It was at a farmer's market, and there was a guy there selling concrete lawn statues, water fountains, and stuff like that. She was looking at the 2 pieces of concrete bird bath and asked about getting it delivered. He said he didn't do that. We talked a bit, and I told her I could put it in my truck and drop it off. She asked what I would charge, and I told her it would cost her lunch. She agreed, and I delivered it to her house. I had a great lunch with this wonderful woman. It turned out she was a kindergarten teacher and had been for almost 20 years. Her husband died of a stroke 2 years before with no warning. Okay, he also said she was genuine. We hit it off. She had no idea what my income was. She had her own house that she paid off with her husband's life insurance policy and was comfortable but still had to be frugal. Wait, I still drove my 10 or 12-year-old truck and don't dress expensive. when I don't have to. I told her what kind of work that I do, and she understood me to be a professional who got by pretty well. We dated for almost a year before I proposed. This wonderful woman said yes, and we were married. After saying yes, I came clean with my worth and let her know that if we don't work out, we don't have to. Did I read that right? Let her know that if we don't work, yeah, okay, we don't have to. Okay. That was 4 years ago. She's still a teacher and I still work. I'm worth about twice as much now as I was then. We bought a modest house on several acres of property. Her car was having trouble and I convinced her to let me buy her a new one. We take amazing vacations together and have a wonderful life. Now, that. Who is this anonymous? Okay, that was a really good story. So even though they've been married for 4 years, she still don't depend on him, which is really, really good. He does the things for her because she wants to, and because she doesn't depend on him. That's really good. So there's a lot more here, but I'm not going to read all of this. And yeah, I'm not going to read all this because we'll actually be here all night. Yeah, guys, what do you think? If there are men here listening, do you guys want to take care of your woman? If you do, how do you take care of your woman? Is there like stipulations? Is there financial, take care of her financially, sexually, emotionally? Do your woman let you take care of her? You know, like, does she work? Does she contribute? Does she help take care of you? Let me know. And ladies that's in here, pretty much the same question. Okay, let me know, guys. So we're gonna end this right here. You guys, be sure to comment down below. Leave suggestions for topics if you have questions, and we will recap again next week. So yeah, guys, comment down below. Like I said, this is really getting deep, and we could actually be here all night. We probably end up doing a part 2 to this, depending on you guys comments and things like that. So those of you again that are in here and are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe if you like the conversation that you're hearing. Again, guys, this is an adult conversation, so if you have children present, please do not listen to this in front of them. Put in your headphones, your AirPods or something, because the language can kind of get you know, a little adulty, and we want to be respectful of our minors. Okay, so guys, I love you. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk again next week. Bye.